Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. Today I'll make another video on the same series of lazy programming series, and in this video itself I'll try to cover two concepts. One concept, I think I can say that it's generators. In Python, what are the generators? Everything I'll try to get it cover itself with example, with a snippet, everything I'll try to cover in this video itself. And other than that, a comprehensive one. If we're talking about the another concept, that we call it as a comprehension, where we just have to understand both the things very well, how we can make a neat and clean code. Okay, so this is not like these are the things which we have already learned it, but to make it the code optimize in a single liner itself, like instead of writing multiple line codes, how can we do that? Everything I'll try to get it covered in this video. So these are two concepts I'll try to get it covered. Okay, so going further with that, first we have to talk about a generator. What exactly is a generator and what's the need of it? Okay, so if I'll give you the idea about it, what is a concrete statement for a generator, then I can say that whenever we do not want our RAM on fly itself, the things to be get it done, our task will be completed, and there is no extra power to be get it consumed of a system, or I can say the storage of a memory it not utilize a lot. By that way itself we have to go with the process of generator. So what I mean by that, like whenever we do not want excess memory to be get it utilized, and everything like whatever operation we want to get it conducted, that to be get it conducted on fly, then we call these whole scenario, we call it as a concept of generator itself. So let me read the content for you which I have already developed it. So generator are an essential feature of Python programming that allow you to efficiently iterate over large data sets or generate an infinite sequence of values without storing them in a memory all at once. Okay, that's most important. The using generator, it doesn't require you to store the data set or that sequential or whatever the output. We do not want that to be get it stored on a on a memory. That was a reason behind it. We are utilizing a generator. They provides a convenient way to produce a stream of values on the fly, saving both memory and processing time. So processing time is also a bit faster as it's not storing anything, so the processing time is also a bit faster. Let's dive into how generators works and explore their various application itself. So if we're talking about like how exactly it's working, we are utilizing one concept, that is a yield. That is one of the concept where whenever if anyone asks you about it, what exactly a yield and what how it is different from the return, like when you're going further with that, wheresoever I'm utilizing a yield, you will definitely having a thought like, why I'm not using a return over there itself. So there is a difference between it. If I'm utilizing a return, then in that case, whatever the situation we are returning it, then after that if I learn the same coming to same section once again, I will not retain the same situation, like same state I can't retain it. But in case of yield, if I'm using in place of return, then definitely wheresoever the state is get paused and the values get returned, from there only, if later on itself if you want to continue, then in that case from the same state the code will be get it continue, not from the initial state itself, or I can say that starting from the scratch, it's not. So using that, this is a feature of it, you yield is utilizing it. And other than that, we can utilize a next also. That's also most important, next function, which we have to use it at the time of when we try to retrieve the content out of it itself. And that's most important, like when we try to put, like when we try to retrieve something from the next item to be get it printed, and we have a manual control on it, like for loop is also one of the thing, but we don't have any control on it. But if we want a proper control on it, we can utilize a next function over there itself just to have a full control. Once the value is exhausted, then in that case we are getting a stop iteration over there itself as an error, we are getting it on a screen. Okay, so that's all about the concept related to the generator itself. Let me read the content for you. So in Python, a generator is a special type of iterator that can create using a function containing one or more yield statements. Okay, when a generator function is called, it returns a generator object which can be iterated over using a for loop or by calling the next function on it. So next function is also one of the thing which we can use it in place of for, just to get that stuffs out of it. So next item to be get it printed, other than that, to get it iterated, we can utilize these things. Okay, in a code itself also, if you wanted in a I've already provided one of the sample code over here itself, by which you can able to understand. This is one of the function I'm defining it over here itself. This is a while loop. Yield, I already told you about it, why I'm utilizing it, just to get it return, but I wanted that to be get it secure, the state it's to be get it secure, so that when I'm running it once again, it will initiate it from the same situation. Now after that, I'm defining it by default. We whatever the value is, it we just go according to that itself. Okay, then we just run this code just to get that print. If you want to print that countdown itself, that to be get utilized using a for. I'm not using next over here itself, as I'm using the for straightforward. If I can utilize both the things at the same time itself, but I'm not utilizing it, as I'm straightforward. For is also having a same functionality, but if you don't want to use the for, then definitely we can use the next also function over there itself along with the object. Okay, now, if I'll talk about the benefits of the generator, what, like if anyone asks you like what is the benefit of it, like generator is okay, like you are doing the stuffs on fly itself, you are saving memory, time, efficiency is good, but what are the more benefits on it? So these are the things are coming under over here itself, but to make you clear about it, like a benefits. So memory efficiency is one of the thing, lazy evolution, I can say that. Other than that, simplicity. Simplicity is also one of the most important point, is it? So memory efficiency. So generator produce more values on the fly, so they do not require storing the entire sequence in memory. This makes them ideal for processing large data sets or generating infinite sequences. Okay, that's clear about it. Like we do not want to be get it store, and by this way efficiencies is also get increased. Now going further with the next section for it, that's a lazy evolution. So value are generated only when needed, which improves performance and reduce the unnecessary computation. So that's also most like whenever we required it, we are using it. If we are not required it, we are not using it. So by this way, unnecessary computation power which is utilized, it's not at all we get it consumed, as we are not using at the time when we don't want to use it, then at the time the computation power is not we get waste from our side. Now simplicity is also one of the thing which we have to discuss about it. Generator function are easy to write and understand, often requiring fewer lines of codes compared to traditional iteration techniques. That's also one of the most important point. Okay, simplicity is one of the thing, just because of that we are utilizing a generator. So generator expression, if anyone asks you about it, what exactly is generator expression itself? So this is the expression we are using over here itself. Over here you can see like I'm not using the yield over here, as I'm not returning anything. This is a syntax I'm using it over here is to square whatever the input I'm giving as a number, then I wanted that to be get it square, that the value to be get it stored in the squares, and that to be get it transfer over here. I'm running a for loop, and then simultaneously I'll try to run the print the value of it, whatever the square of the number I'm passing it, I'm getting the results accordingly. Now talking about the common use cases. So processing large data sets, that's one of the thing. Infinite sequences, that's also one of the possibility. And pipeline processing is also one of the thing which we have to prefer with the generator itself. Talking about the processing large data sets, generators are ideal for processing data that is too large to fit into the memory at once, such as reading lines from a large files or querying a database itself. That to be get it done using the generators. If I talk about the infinite sequence, that's feasible. Generator can be used to generate infinite sequence of the values such as random number, you can say the Fibonacci series, or a prime number. So that's feasible. Now, pipeline processing is a generator can be chained together to form a pipeline for processing data in a series of steps, with each steps producing value lasing as needed itself. So that's a pipeline processing itself, in which this is also one of the use cases for the generator which we are utilizing. Now going further, this is a code which I'll try to get it covered in the practical section for it. Now going further with that, this is just explanation for it. When we are running it, how exactly we get the output, that's all about it. Now going further with the next section, for the description for it, and that I call it as what is a comprehensions. So comprehensions is one of the thing where we want to make a neat and clean code. We wanted the code to be bit optimized. Instead of writing multiple line of codes, we have to make a single line of code with the conditions, with the loops and everything we'll place in single line itself, and we get the appropriate output. That is the combination, I can say that, which we call it as the comprehensions. So if I'll read the content for you, Python comprehension are a concise and the expressive way to create a collection such as list, dictionary and a sets by applying an expression to each item in an iterable. They provide a more readable and efficient alternative to traditional method like loops and the manual constructions. So if we're talking about, like, just to get it explore the different type of comprehension in Python itself, how we can use it efficiently, then definitely we have to start with the list comprehension. Over here itself you can see the list comprehension are used to create a list based on the existing iterables, and they follow a simple syntax itself. So this is the syntax over here itself, where you have to use it as an expression. Whatever the expression I'm get it defined, I will show you that at the time of the practical itself how exactly we are writing it. Right now I'm just showcasing you a syntax over here itself. Even if you want to see, this is the example for it. So this is the variable where I'm just get it defined. This is the expression which I just wanted that to be get it run. Expression means whatever the operation I want to get it conducted, that to be get it defined inside of the expression. Then a loop will be get it run, like we have to get it defined how long we want it, and that value to be get it, each and every value to be get it transferred over here itself, and we get the output as per the need itself. Okay, so that's all about the section for it. Now going further with the dictionary section for it, that we call it the dictionary comprehensions. In that case itself, comprehension dictionary comprehensions are the similar to the list comprehensions, but create dictionaries instead. They are using a key value pair, so we can create a keys and the values over there itself. That's a discrimination, that is a difference between a list and the dictionary. Over here itself we have the key and we have the values for it. That's a thing about it. This is a syntax for it. If you'll just want to explain you about with the code, this is the code where we have to define the variable name, then we have to put x colon, as we wanted that whatever the output we are getting it over here itself, that is belongs as a value itself. So this is a key and this is a value, I'm getting it continuously for it. Okay, now going to the next section, that is a set comprehensions. Over there itself, a set comprehension are used to create a sets which are unordered collection of the unique elements. They follow a syntax similar to list comprehensions but use curly braces itself. So that's most important. So this is a syntax for it where we have to put that. It's similar like that the list itself, we simply have to put the comprehensions over here itself. Over here itself, in case of list we are using a square bracket, but in case of set we are using a curly braces. That's the only difference behind it, and other than that we are just defining it the value, and the conditions also be get it utilized over here itself. Look, along, other than the loop we can use the conditions also be there, okay, as per the need itself. So I'm over here itself, I'm not giving that condition like if and the loop itself, and along with that expression which you want to get it defined, I can do everything in one line itself. A loop, the I can say that a condition, and other than the expression, I can put all three things in one line itself. And now we go to the next section, that is a generator comprehensions. So generator comprehension, also known as a generator expression, are similar to a list comprehension but return a generator object. So the only difference is we are returning the generator object over here itself instead of not doing anything. So that's the only difference between a list and the generator comprehension. And over here itself we use we use a parenthesis instead of using a square brackets. And like what exactly the difference, in generator we are using braces, I can say that, parenthesis. Then in case of list we are using a square bracket. In case of set comprehension we are using a curly braces. So that's the difference between it when we are defining it. And the condition also we get it add over there itself. That's similar like that. Over here also we can put the condition loop, and along with the expression we can put it. Okay, that's the stuff related to that. I will talk about the benefits of it before going with the practical section for it. I will definitely let you know the benefits of the comprehension. So the readability is one of the core thing by which we are required this Performance is also one of those, like if you are defining it everything in one line, so definitely a code will be optimized, you are not utilizing so many extra stuff so be there itself, and reduce the code, so that's most important. So performance, reduce the code, and readability, everything is combinedly helpful for us in case we are utilizing a comprehensions over there in our code. Okay, so I think you're able to understand the theory part. Now we go to the practical section, understand all the stuffs which we have discussed so far itself with the snippet portion. We'll see the code, we'll see that when we execute that whatever output I'm getting on my screen, everything I'll try to get it covered now. Okay, so now we'll go to our PyCharm. This is the first code, and this is for the first concept which you are talking about. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand that which concept I'm talking about. Okay, so that is one of the thing. I'm just talking about the generator itself. That's the first concept which we have discussed about it. In case of generator, what I'm supposed to do, there are two examples. I'm just clubbing it inside of the same code itself. So when I run this code, you'll definitely get two output, and two output with like one on the top itself for one of the output, and the output two for the another code itself. Okay, so don't worry about it, like why we are defining it a function over here itself, why we're defining in such a way, what exactly everything to be. I'll just try my best to get it make you understand with that, but I'm just explaining you in the initial itself. These are the two outputs we're getting with this code itself, so don't be worried about it. Normally we're getting one only, but as we're clubbing two code, definitely we can get the two output. So this is one of the function which we have to define it over here itself with the name Fibonacci. Then we have to define the value a and b, and we are defining it a value 0 and 1. That is one of the thing. The value will be get a trigger where we have to mention that as a true itself, and yield equal to a. That's most important. So yield value is 0 itself, and we are just returning it from there itself. So that was the reason we are using, instead of using return, we are using yield, as we wanted that to be get it saved the state, and we can continue from the same state instead of going with a scratch. Now for that we are defining it a comma b equal to b. So the term is going in such a way, a then b equal to b, then a plus b. Those, see, these are the output we are getting, and accordingly we can see the whole list about it. Now what exactly is thing, I'll just defining it this as a object. I can say that over there itself I'm just utilizing the function name over here itself. Now for that I wanted to be get it print everything, then in that case I'm just running one of the for loop over here itself. I'm defining how long I wanted a Fibonacci series. I wanted a 10 counts to be there itself. That's why I give it a range as a 10 itself over here, and when I try to print it, I have to use a next. Even if I'm not using it, I will definitely get the error over here itself, but I will tell you why exactly why we have to use a next. I wanted the next item to be get it printed itself very feasibly. If I'm not using it, definitely I'm just seeing the same. I'm seeing that we don't have any manual control on it, and the second thing is that we are continuously printing the address over there itself, like wheresoever it get pointed, but we are not getting the values, and we are looking for the values over here itself. Like once it's get incremented, we have to point out the number with that whatever that operation we want to get it perform over there. So with the Fibonacci, and we wanted the series to be get it print on a screen. So that was the reason to print the next item itself. We required the next function to be get it utilized over here itself. Okay, so we can do that with a for also by default, like for also having a control over there of the stop iteration itself. By default itself it's having it automatically can get it performed, like once the value will be get exhausted, like whatever that duration or whatever that count we wanted till what it we wanted the code to be get printed. Once the condition is fulfilled, it's automatically get terminated, and if we want that to be get it manually, we have to do it. Then in that case, our next is the option for it. We have to give multiple statements over there just to get that output appropriately for it. But this thing we can achieve it with the manual also, like that's feasible. And if the condition is false, like the example whatever the value, I'm looking for the 10 count to be get it printed, but if I'll approach for the 11th one, definitely I'm getting the error over there itself if I'm going for the manual way. Now going to the next section for it, where I'm just defining one of the function over here itself. It's straightforward. This is a function defining name itself. I will take one value over here itself. This is a for loop. I'm giving it a range which we are passing to that function itself as a parameter. Then this is the state where I'm just returning it back as per state. Now what exactly I'm just defining over here itself, the 5 is the value. I'm just get it pass over here itself, and this is get it stored in the object, and that object to be individually get it forwarding the value to that square and that to be get it printed. So whatever the value we are getting over here itself, that to be get it printed. So individually square root of that thing to be get it printed continuously for it, and we get the final output. We want a square for each and every number, so starting from 1 2 3 4 5, so till I can say that 5 itself we are getting the output for it appropriately to be get it multiply, and we get the output of the square, like square of each and every number which we have given as a list. Let me run the code for you. So you can able to see it's not going with the 5 itself, it will run till 4 only, as the first point is 0 0 1 2 3 4. So we are starting with a 0 and going till 4, not the 5. So 5 is the count, total count, but we are going till 4 only. Okay, so if we're talking about the Fibonacci series, we can able to see over till here itself the Fibonacci series is over, and then after that the next section where we are looking for the square of it, so the number squared will be getting printed on our screen, and this is the output we are getting on our screen itself. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand the concept very well with this code. Now I'm going to the next section that we call it as a comprehension. What exactly I mean by that, now you will able to understand what exactly the comprehension over here itself. So the list comprehension, we have already discussed about it. We have to define the value of the parameter in such a way itself where we have to put everything inside of the square bracket. So over here itself you can see this is the expression which we have to get it defined. Then I'll put a for loop over here itself. I'll just define the range, and then accordingly to be get it in multiply, and we get the output over here itself. Similar like that for the dictionary, we're looking for the key and the values over here itself, but uh, definitely we have to get it defined inside of the curly braces. So we have to put that we can say that a key name as x itself, and then whatever that output we are getting over here itself, that is coming under the category of the value. So whatever the thing to be getting calculating, example of 1, that 1 will be over here itself, then we are getting 2, then once again this will loop will be get it identify one of the value for the x, that value to be get it defined over here itself. So for each and every we are getting the key and the values over here. So that was a reason we are considering this as a dictionary comprehension, and then I can say that that value we try to get it print over here itself. Now we talk about the set comprehension, and in that case itself what exactly is happening, we are doing the same thing, expression, then we go for the for loop, and even the condition, if condition I'm utilizing three things. I'll just utilize expression, I'm using a for loop, and I'm just using a if condition over there itself. Everything to be get it calculated as per that things we are defining it, then we are just transferring that value to the even underscore squares, and that value to be get it printed. Once I'll run this code, you can able to get the result which we are looking for it. So for the list, for the dictionary, and for the set of the squares itself, everything you can get it very easily over here itself. So this concept is bit easy, but you just have to be careful about it at the time of defining, like where we have to utilize a curly braces, parentheses, square bracket, where we have to utilize the keys and values to be get it defined. Everything you just have to be get it understand first very well, accordingly you can use it. So I hope you are able to understand the whole concept for both the topics which I just want to get it cover over here itself. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and if you want to provide your feedback, you can provide the feedback in the comment section of this video. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.